Probably should have a ground strap if you're touching circuitry on those boards, fragile things susceptible to static electricity. Another thing to try is to clean those green scum connections with flux remover or isopropyl alcohol using a small brush. Check for cold solder joints, not likely, but nothing to lose. I agree with you. You know, whenever you're taking gauges apart and trying to redo the screens and stuff like that and save older gauges, generally, when it gets into circuit boards, I don't mess with that stuff. I mean, like, I can build computers. I can take laptops apart. Like, I can do all that stuff. I got no problem with that. I can take it apart, put it together, build it from scratch, no problem. Getting into the actual circuitry and soldering stuff, you know, I don't get into that. You know, it's one thing to put thermal paste on a CPU and a heatsink. It's another thing to be desoldering circuits and pulling pins out and putting them back in and cleaning that. Like, I don't get, that's a little bit more than I get involved into electrical stuff like that. But obviously, Peter, you know all about that stuff. So you probably right. I probably could get some isopropyl alcohol and put that on that green stuff. It might clean it off a little bit and make that gauge work. Sometimes I just cut the cord on stuff too. I'm like, you know what, next project, either I get to a certain point, it's like, okay, is it worth my time to do it or not? So, you know, there's always that. All right, Josh Hubbard says, what is the purpose of these second controlled towers? Josh has probably not been offshore fishing, which is not a big deal. You should go if you get the chance. But in good conditions, clean water, especially South Florida, the Caribbean, anywhere where you got clean water, having a tower is awesome. It is so that way you get visibility into the water. You don't really realize it. I mean, even the half towers, people call them half towers, Key West towers, whatever you want to call them, where you stand on the console and you're up above it. The amount of visibility that you get from being 5, 6, 10 feet higher, you're looking down into the water, and when the sun's out, like, you can see so much more. I mean, especially when you're offshore and you can see 30, 40, 50 feet down in the water, like, you can see schools of fish, you can see what the fish are, like, you can see what's going on. And so it is, I mean, it's a massive advantage is the reason that people have those. And then even if you're like on like bay boats and stuff, having that half tower, like, you can see, like, you get on a flats or something and like you get up in there, you can see stuff. I mean, your visibility is just 2-3 times better. So it's all about visibility. And if you're up there, you're going to want to be able to control the boat. So you need the controls. That's why you have the controls up there. And a lot of people have their, you know, your rod setup and stuff in the back. So that way you can have, like, let's say you got your spinners ready with some chunk bait on them. You can be kind of putzing around, cruising around up in that tower, being able to see down in the water and looking at stuff and be able to cast at something. Whereas if you're down in the cockpit, normal driving, like, you're looking across the water, you can't really see something that's, you know, swimming around out there, depending on how far away it is, because of the glare. I mean, even with good glasses, it does cut that down to a point, but it's a lot different than changing your angle and getting 5 feet higher and then looking down in there and looking that 30 feet out and being able to cast onto something and, you know, or around it to try and spark it to bite. Like, definitely an advantage with that. So that's what's up with those. Jonan No says, when mounting the engine, do you need to wait the full 24 hour for the 5200 to cure, or could you hit the water 2-3 hours after? I don't even put 5200 on engines. I use 4200. That 5200 is way too permanent and it cures. It's runny. Like, it's just nasty stuff. I use 4200, and yeah, you can a couple hours and splash the boat. That stuff is like, 3M makes a really good product. I mean, let's be honest here. 3M really does make a really good product. And the 3M 4200, yeah, within a couple hours, you're pretty safe. I'm sure that there is a label that says how long before it touches water, but it cures way quicker than you think. And then also, when you think about what you're doing, like, you're literally smashing, here's your transom, here's your bracket, like them, you're smashing those things together. They are pulled together tight. That sealant is, you know, it smushes out within there, and like, it dries very quickly. Now the sealant that's on the bolt on the inside, that might take 24 hours for that to fully cure, but you're not going to get water penetration through there. It's not going to happen. And once you actually use this stuff, let that thing sit for 20 minutes and try and clean it off. Oh, nightmare. It's done. Like, you need to clean it off immediately. Like 10 minutes is too long. Like, as soon as it smashes out, yeah. That's been my experience. I'm sure there's a instruction manual for the sealant time, but yeah. If you don't clean it off within 10 minutes, it's a disaster getting it off. So, yeah, a couple hours and you're pretty much water ready. Hey there, sorry to take you away from the video, but real quick, did you know that on average a boat owner will spend between $1,000 and $5,000 a year just on servicing their engine? And you could actually pocket and save a lot of that money if you would just do the service yourself. It might seem like a daunting task, but I guarantee you virtually everyone can do it with our guidance and the Boaters program. This is just one skill that you could learn inside the program because we have hundreds of other videos teaching you all kinds of boating skills, as well as a weekly live stream where we have questions and answers with me, as well as a chat feature where you can send videos and pictures, ask all kinds of questions, or look for some advice or some guidance on a project that you're doing on your boat. You can join the program by hitting the first link in the description, clicking join, or visiting bornagainboating.com. Now back to the video.